Welcome back to Pisces TV with Dr. MB. Let's get started with the reading. Thank all of you for tuning in today. I definitely appreciate your continued support. I see that this particular reading is interesting. I got excited. It's so many twists and turns to it. For some of you, it involves soul time, where it's personal. It has to do with your development into your higher being, your calling, what you came here for, what you were born for, what your strengths are on a multidimensional level. That's impressive. I am impressed. It talks about transparency for some of you and truth, where there may be some communication, and this communication comes from an invite, the invite of someone possibly being awakened and or their intuition or this gut feeling. Okay, I like that because I love when people have turnarounds. I love when people are patient enough to connect with something bigger than them to get it right. I love that. So if that's you or if that's someone in your environment, there could be a happy sort of communication, an invite, a gift, an offer of some sort that's going to excite one of you or both of you. It could be a union for some. There may be a situation involving children for others, or at least a child. Using your discernment is in the environment with the number 20, which talks about judgment. And I feel for some of you guys, it is a very serious time to be super serious with yourselves about past, present, and future, where you wanted to go, and taking the little nudges and hints that are coming to you, as well as what you feel in your gut, and running with that. Okay. Now that I said it in a way for the people who struggle to sit through readings, we're going to unpack it. I just like to kind of give this thing, and I don't even think I got half of it out. But soul time, number 40. 40s have been significant for you lately. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibilities of new realities to emerge. Hello? One that embraces the concept that while the conception. Ooh, we're gonna get there. Okay, wait. One that, because something ends or changes and is starting over, or a new thing replaces it. I like that. Okay, because my love language is acts of service and gifts. They need to just change it to receiving, because that includes giving. Like if I give, you receive. I like to receive. That's what it is. But it talks about the corporal body is mortal. The soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So this talks about your core energy and or a union of some sort that has that same pedigree. My type of talk. Okay. I'm also going to take out clarifiers with tarot, as I did shuffle out some bonus cards. I don't know why I was pulled to use the gold fall deck, because I'm using the wild unknown to clarify. But for the solar plexus, I shuffled out some cards and they were impressive. So we'll get to that. What's crossing the soul time, the number 5, some of you resonate with 5, could have a life path, a soul purpose, karmic number, whatever with 5, birthday on the 5th, knew him 5 years ago. I don't know, transits and cycles in your life revolving around that number, or if nothing more, which I love that is symbolic to the cover for the entire deck. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance, and I do love that. It is crossing the environment as it crosses the situation. Soul time, discernment, self-expression definitely talks about the reason you were born, what you're called to do, things from the past, being honest about those things and communicating. And with Merkaba right here, it may not be verbal communication. It doesn't have to be physical communication. And it's not really giving me telepathy, but I did see, or telepathy, but I did see the King of Wands, and you do have the wand here. So we'll see how that breaks down, but keeping it moving. You have in the focus, one of my favorites, something that changed my life, the Merkaba or Merkaba, which supports our ability to use our consciousness to travel into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experience into our present to serve our highest purpose. And that's coming over the Judgment card. That is major. That's more than just activating the heart chakra, which is also necessary and a part of this, to pull out those key mysteries, those hidden goodies that were saved even though we reincarnate and forget. It is there. The Merkaba talks about the light body. The Merkaba could be something you guys have activated that is a higher part of yourself that could be communicating with you at the moment and may have a message for you, and I'll try my best to get that clear. Okay. I also feel the merging with this union is amazing. For some of you, it's all aspects of you, whether you, and see, this is the thing. Sometimes in life, when people think that we could be in fantasy land as water signs, we are delusional as Pisces or grand, some of us, right? You may have had experiences that you can't shake. Some of you may have been wives, husbands, mothers. Some of you may have been famous, wealthy. Some of you could have been warriors. Some of you could have been, having, I was going to say trigger alert. Some of you may have had very dark experiences in the past. How we left is usually the first memory I heard, right? When I did some training in the hypnosis therapy. So shout out to the QHT group. A lot of people discovered that something that happened in the past life, and sometimes the last thing, is the freshest memory and could contaminate the present experience, and you don't know why. Or you could just have an issue with the person and you don't know why, or an archetype and you don't know why. It could be water and you don't know why, or dogs and you don't know why. So the intuition guiding you, but conception and discernment and truth and expression, it's like just the way it sounds when I said it. How about that? Sort of. Okay. The conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin. So here you have higher purpose, present, and merging, Akashic records, inheritances, and multiple dimensions, as well as reality. This is the number 16. Of course, that is the tower. For some, it's the house of God. Others, it talks about where the glass ceiling is when we separate ourselves from something that isn't going to serve us, and or a surprise that still changes us for whatever reason. It may be a change that was outside of our control, and it could be for better or worse. But in this situation, I'm not saying worse, so that's good news. I just talked about memory. So let's see. The place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space, and that we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. I love that over intuition, because infinite possibilities and someone who believes in magic is connected to our high priestess, which could be a transparent divine feminine energy that connects with us all and sometimes merges with us, which is why there are some human beings that are considered XYZ and have titles of some sort, because they have merged with that. So it is fair to say, don't block me or get all crazy when I say this, but even in some religious groups, something merging with something else, they presume that it was it, right? No disrespect, but some people when it comes to the trifecta or the Trinity, which also includes merging. Some say it's mind, body, soul. Others say it's maiden, mother, chrome. Beyonce said it's me, myself, and I. And in Christianity, it's God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Father that is unseen in another dimension, the Son, which shined on us, and the Spirit that was in him, right? Now, I have experienced the Holy Spirit, and of course, Jesus' physical body wasn't there, so, I mean, I have to, what does they call it? What's that show called? Debunked. It would kind of be debunked unless Jesus itself was transparent or God was transparent. And since I was able to comprehend a presence, it is clear that the Holy Spirit most definitely exists, regardless of what people believe in or what religious you study or, you know, bow to or whatnot. So anyway, my point was the merging, the possibilities, the potential, your highest self, peace and balance, self-expression, being limitless. Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't that when you had the ultimate being, the ultimate brain, the ultimate perspective, your ability to discern, think, feel? It was just pure in the moment. So it wasn't a lot of outside distraction. It wasn't how I feel and who I've become. It wasn't what I'm supposed to be and where I'm going. It was a supreme being in the present moment with the situations at hand. And that is so refreshing. If we could all do that, I assure you most people would be happier, because it's the past and what's happening tomorrow that bothers us sometimes, right? So there's that. That's super cool. Now, I think I'm going to wait on these until I get the clarifiers for the others. But this card, the number 3, you have solar plexus, which talks about, of course, the third chakra. So for some of you, it may be the 5th chakra, because I think I just had a drink. I had a half a glass of water, but while I'm doing this reading, I'm just like, you notice that? So for some of you, the strength is the solar power. What's crossing your soul is the 5th chakra. The 5th chakra, when it comes to manifesting, because I didn't say this, so I'll say it real quick, I learned that it has something to do with pushing the manifestation out of the belly into the reality. Even though image, right, starts with the wand, which to me is the third eye, it didn't have nothing to do with this particular situation. So I'm just telling you what I learned, and maybe you can Google it and see what it was. But it was a meditative guided thing that a lady was walking me through, and we got to the point of visualization, and you hold the focus and bring it up, you know what I'm saying, through your body, and the throat chakra was a part of it. Now excuse me, because y'all know I'm silly. My memory is not the best intentionally, and I think even before I intentionally started to forget things, I just naturally did. But it's a thing, and I like sharing information. The Merkaba is involved. It was a time that I remember being into all of this, and some of you are there, okay? There has to have been some new awakening, some new shift. There's a new wind, I feel like, that is coming in, because when I started talking about this or saying this, it was a collective shift of conscious people elevating, and we all just began to walk in a direction that we were more comfortable with, but for some reason life didn't allow us to do that so freely, and then things started happening, or we started choosing to do so, and here we are. This is kind of that. And some of you that have already experienced that, it may be an elevation of that or some message involved in that, but it's super dope. I'm honored. So anyway, this what's crowning you could be on your mind. It could be the strength of the matter, but it is personal problem. Oops. Damn. Who got that on their mind? Personal power, dude. I take that back. Now, if somebody said, no, I was thinking that is insane. Spirit says, though, okay, cool. I just saw 2 P's. All right. I'm getting old. This card way over here with these little bitty letters. Personal power and our willpower, as well as our knowing with this intuition and the Merkaba. Our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole, which again, judgment in the environment, giving me that why you were born soul purposey vibe is crazy in a good way. Because how many people, let's see if that helps, it's a little off, how many people want to know why they're here? How many people feel like they have a deeper yearning for or a closer connection to that concept alone, right? Super dope. Near future, we have transparency, which I thought was amazing, especially for those of you that could be coming into communication, okay, with your counterparts, with your angel, ascended master, messenger, whatever it is, okay? We have transparency, which is 43. That's a 7. 16 is also 7. And then we have 2 7s. So I thought about the near future, your hopes and fears, and the recent past, possibly having a connection that ties to the outcome, which is 14 and also 2 7s. Love that. All right. You have all these 2s with 20, 21. Oh, I forgot about that. Lord. So imagine the world card and the tower card and the judgment card in one reading with the Hierophant and the High Priestess. That is a soulmate connection, and it also talks about a divine being that has the feminine and the masculine persona of the spiritual guru-y kind of, you know what I'm saying, Shambako. I just wanted to make up a word. With soul time here, it is a soulmate union for somebody. For others of you, it's the spirit gracing you that allows you to be this creme de la creme. I know a lot of us think we creme de la creme, and the Holy Spirit don't even know your middle name. That's fine. You're invited, you know, or whatnot. But transparency talks about supports our expansion toward a higher vibrational state of being with more insight, honesty, and clarity. Here's honesty. Honesty for some of us involves that discernment, as well as the concept and how it's communicated. So all that together gives me reason. Reason is what puts something in your subconscious that goes against a conscious action. And reason could also be why somebody thrives and tries harder and perseveres. Your reason behind a choice that you make for your journey, your life, a relationship, and also reasoning when it comes to what's true, what's not, what's good, what's bad, our belief systems, and then our intuitive or gut feelings behind all of that, right? For however it fits for you. But I like that. 21. You know, it's the naked lady with the 2 wands sitting on top of the world. We got divine feminine energy and soul time with Merkaba. So that gives me like the spirit of the earth, because I did see something that sparked my thoughts about that. And your approach to take to it is much like, oh my God, seriously, it's giving what would Jesus do vibes, okay? And because I'm not a Christian and I purposefully remain balanced when it comes to discussing spirituality and religion, because I support all of you, I try not to just get too stuck on a thing. But some of my mentors and guides are Jesus freaks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm cool with the Christ. That's the homie. And I do talk about him a lot. So for whatever reason, maybe because we're both divine children, and I'm also like a daughter or a sibling or an ancestor, a descendant. So I don't know. Anyway, you have the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. You did have universal love in a reading in the past that I felt may have a connection to this very thing. It may be because of who you're dealing with. It may be a truth about you and still involves something or someone you're dealing with. However it works. Okay? I like the World card and Judgment next to each other because something comes up from the past, and the thing that comes up from the past could lead to someone being whole, and that wholeness could be connecting with the higher self, connecting with the soulmate, your truth, living in it, a truth, being transparent. Imagine having a conversation with somebody who's been full of shit their whole life or y'all whole friendship, and then there's this conversation of transparency, of vulnerability. I think that is so sexy and super sweet if it's about a relationship or a union. And I also feel like it is groundbreaking and sometimes shattering when it's about ourselves, because when I had the glass ceiling coming in, groundbreaking, sort of getting into my higher self and shattering some lower concepts, I needed to have the Holy Spirit with me, or Metatron and my guides with me, because in my lower state as just a normal human being, traumatized person, whatever, the ego sometimes makes it hard to admit. You know it's true deep down inside, but you'll take it to your grave, even though it's some of the things that others outside of you have repeated your entire life, and sometimes it's the very thing that you dislike in others. That is a very vulnerable state, and it's necessary to get through that and be honest, to get to your higher self, because faking it and shaking it don't work in other dimensions like it might work in West Hollywood. Okay, so in the environment, we have discernment, which has had my attention this entire time. Here we go. Discernment, where there's some sort of sense of peace and self-expression. Discernment when it comes to focused awareness and intentions, potential and possibilities. Are you discerning reality from delusions? Maybe are we using discernment in this conversation? Discernment about ourselves, discernment about a gut feeling we have, our willpower, our whatever, things that we've been discussing. But it supports our ability to view the world, which is right next to it, and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. That is so necessary. Not gonna hold you, because the deeper I got into spirituality and religion, the stronger I became and the more detached I became. Not gonna lie. And that sounds backwards. I thought, based on my experiences and just how, I don't know, sweet I was on the idea of other dimensions, or angels and stuff like that, I thought it was some cookie baker, perfect, love and light, higher vibrational, passive, submissive, non-confrontational environment. Not so. And I'll take the bullet that it could be my perspective of it, fine, which makes it subjective. But in my very professional opinion, in my decent observation, it is more about authenticity and willpower than it is good and bad. And you can prove me wrong. Okay? So that's important. These two cards next to me, or next to each other, with our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, with this nurturing soft side that expresses ourselves like this card asks us to do, which is the challenge in crossing us or crossing the person that could come in to communicate with you with this transparency. Whatever it is, I think it's nice because it's something. I like some things, you know. It's better than no things, but no things are also amazing. Anywho, I love that inner balance and detachment, and it's crossing self-expression and conception, which are parts of you. This is a part from the origin, and this is a part from the self. That's interesting. Who you are in this dimension or right now versus who you are actually, for real. Like, for real. Super dope. Intuition in the hopes and fears. The energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the third dimension. Okay, I caught it. The number 3, and conceive with conception and divine feminine. That's giving me Empress for whatever reason. And that could be her approach, her shadow, her gifts, her abilities, her mastery of being all queens, so on and so forth. We'll see when we, because I ain't even got to the clarifiers. That's crazy. Okay. Temperance. Things coming together. That's also hint for a possible union and some twin flames coming together. Some real twin flames. Not no toxic karma shit. I don't know. Could be, because now it's soul time and throat chakra feeling a little dark. But there could be some communication. I'm looking at conception and communication. Looks a lot alike. Almost as if it's a progression from the origin into another thing that ultimately starts morphing into this, and then discernment looking like a alien forming, which this judgment does also talk about divine beings. So this is a divine being, and some sort of capacity to communicate with them or with it is, for some of you, a gift and or an ability. Something that's in the environment that has some sort of presence in the near future may not. And in the hopes and fears, you know it. For some of y'all. It's just like this gut feeling. So, I like incoming and outgoing right here, where there could be some communication. It's a two-way thing, which is super dope, because who want a one-sided ass conversation? The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our hearts, the center of our truth. Truth is up here, but I didn't see the heart chakra. It came with the throat, which the throat, when it's out of whack, I know when people be lying. Now, if your heart out of whack, that ain't gonna make you a liar. So, and I just scratched my throat. So y'all pay attention to that for whatever reason, whoever that's for. It also says the center of truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Now here's source, and I mean, in my defense, there is an ancient conversation that Metatron is older than the concept of God, because God is a Germanic word that was created shortly before the conspiracy theory of the God gene that they also created and implemented into human beings at the time. So they the same. It's not disrespectful of me to give so much to Metatron, who I on any day would say is source. And then when I think about other messengers like Gabrielle worked hand in hand with Metatron in the Akashic records because people was fucking up and they wanted to help them. And it was like they discovered through their observation that if people was honest with themselves and either had awareness of their choices or used more discernment with their choices, there wouldn't be certain outcomes. And I could be butchering the fuck out of that ideology. But if you look into it, it does have something to do with record keeping, observation, and a solution. Like, I think humans should try this because of this, and it keeps happening. It was repetitive or something like that. And so here is Metatron, in my perspective, Archangel Gabriel, in my perspective. There's that. And then solar power source. Okay, I don't know. I ain't gonna sway the judgment. I'm just talking. You can figure out what it feel like for you. Okay, that was cute though. We're gonna take some clarifiers. Yeah, the things that we do over and over again, the things that we've mastered, or how we stay in the loop. And then I was gonna point out the blue, and my I don't know, intuitively I just felt like Archangel Michael. I think he does he represent, the north or the south? I don't know. They usually time the blue, and is very protective. It talks about thinking, our impulses, bravery, you know. So if we're protective and not transparent when we communicate, or fully honest, or have trust issues or self-expression issues, the divine feminine energy says have more confidence. And because of that, you're easier on yourself and possibly others, which would allow you to make non-toxic, non-biased observations and or judgments on situations as far as the origin. Now that's deep if somebody's trying to understand why this keep happening, or why do I do this, or why do they do that, or right? Because I know in family situations, don't nobody want to take the blame. Not gonna hold you. And what gives grace, what allows me to forgive, and why I'm so like cool, is because if I blame you, I gotta blame the person before you. And if I blame them, I'm going to blame the person before them because I'm a millennial, or maybe it's just because I'm Montana. I always blame the parents. I always have. Now, unless it's some shit-tired children that just are totally off track from everything their parents tried, I'll still sit and try to find what went wrong. You know, like how, because I coach and give random unsolicited advice to friends and family, and also paid services to my clients, and I am and have a knack for connecting dots. So it was something about that experience where somebody needed something they didn't get, they wanted something they didn't get, and somebody was blind to it. Because you'll have a parent that say, I gave you everything I didn't have, I did everything for you. And then you have a person saying, yeah, everything but what the fuck I wanted. And that's real. You have someone who focused on providing and giving a safe, loving environment, and they wanted more personal support for their self-expression and their gifts and abilities. Like, I wish I was supposed to be a superstar. I should have been homeschooled like what's his name, Jim Carrey. I wanted to be a comedian, and you sitting here done put us in the suburbs. I can go into all these fancy schools, and I could never be myself. I mean, you never know. Okay, I'm just saying about stuff, where the shit started at, and why it's where it is. And sometimes people knowing damn well, but not being honest, because that intuition and that gut feeling, it's like was always there. And then that's how you get sick and stuff. But we're not going to talk about all that. because denial is a nasty drug. So boom, messages from spirit. Oh, okay, fine. Well, all the things that I said were entertaining also. We have Scorpio, a transformation. We have, after this sticky transformative energy that has been coming up for the last few days, something is really going to take off for you guys. Soul time, 8 wands. When I saw the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands, some messages, speed. I also feel like it could be getting out of like a stuckness of some sort. Now, unless you're getting messages from a soulmate or a past lover or someone that things ended with, some of you, that's the toxic person. Not gonna lie, look, I said, I don't know, by the time I got here, this felt darker. Let's keep going. The throat chakra. It's that 5. That 5 is tell all, man. That 5 tells it all. We have moving away from financial troubles. We have, for some of you, legalities and or balance, something that brings balance to your life. And that's Archangel Raphael energy. Could be Ascended Master, Archangel. It also talks about lessons, mastery, a professor of some sort. Okay, so we're gonna look at them all together. With the Merkaba, we have growth. I have always been with you, beloved. It could also talk about siblings, children, nostalgia, the Akashic records. Okay, yeah, okay, the Akashic records. Messages from afar. When I said messages, temperance came out, and that's the communication. Some of you may receive communication from a sibling or through, I don't know, daydreams, meditation about some things in the Akashic records that are going to be very impactful for you. Conception. Oh, this is kind of like abandonment. So source may be just saying, hey y'all, to all of my starseeds and like chosen ones that may have been struggling with life. Like, why am I here? For some of you, and I know this is gonna switch. Is it that? Like, because those 2 cards do mean that. Can I say that? Okay, cool. So the abandonment thing, the taking action, stuff working out for you and moving to calmer waters, that's true. But luxury for some of you, and fame, some attention. I said that. You may have had a very prominent life at some point, or may want one. And then there's another energy that says you don't want nothing else but that. Somebody may not want nothing else but you. And then we back to this. So this is connected to that. Ooh. But there's some conflicts. Right, of course. My beliefs, and then what binds me. Okay. Right, that's fair. That happens, which is why I was impressed that somebody dealing with that is having a moment of clarity or wanting to have some sit down, or is having an awakening in the first place, because I know how hard it could be. Oh, sorry. I already shuffled cards out over there, but you have the Knight of Coins and the Ace of Cup. So patience and self-love, that's the message from Source, to deal with some things that could be uncomfortable for some of us. For others of you, with this solar plexus, we have these solar energy right here with the sun. We also have the cup. I can say for those of you where it's children or physical, there could be a child that needs to be put in time out now. Because I thought I saw the 5 of Wands, but I didn't. I saw the 7 of Wands. So someone may be defensive about a situation that could involve a family matter. Others of you, it talks about your energy, your willpower, and containing it. You're going to have some patience, because things are really going to take off for you. Your energy is going to improve. A lot of messages are going to be coming to you. You may have a divine being in your presence shifting your energy, and it may feel funny. But the Knight of Pentacles says that slow and steady wins the race, and at least he's the one knight of all of them that is for sure going to cross the finish line if he ain't lazy, and if he used this 8 wands, and if he follows this dream or this idea, his hope, his wish, or his dream, he'll be good. Because the Knight of Pentacles in a shadow energy, kind of lazy and don't want much. So, which is also kind of like the energy of the 4 of Cups, where it's like I'm focusing on healing myself. I don't have like a lot of ambition or energy for a bunch of stuff. True? Okay. Knight of Swords, back to the blue, right? Because I mentioned Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael come back out like, yo, all right, we have transparency when it comes to how we communicate, when it comes to our thoughts, when it comes to our impulsiveness, when it comes to what drives us. We have judgment. So discernment, thinking, transparency when it comes to thinking. And I'll be saying that y'all do know, if y'all actually believe in the higher power, it is real. I honestly feel like people are just so used to these folklores, because you get a feeling from it, because some shit people do and say, they can't really believe that there is something governing them or observing them, because they sit and lie to their damn self. They're a lot of you, they're a lot of me. They sit lying to themselves, and like I say, either it's a neurological or a behavioral disorder and they're honestly unaware, which may happen by high percentages, but it's a shit ton of people who really be talking some shit and ain't about none of that. And I be like, it ain't about me. I can't judge you. I've been full of shit in my life. I can't judge. That's why I know what it look like. And I also know that if you're serious about where you're trying to go, or if you're serious about what you believe in, you can't keep operating in that energy. Because you don't think God knows that you're full of shit? Or if you don't believe in religion, you don't think the laws of attraction or magnetism and mysticism or alchemy would put your energy in alignment with other full of shit. Yeah. The divine feminine is so connected to, that's crazy. Look at that. You have the 2 of Swords, which I feel has a connection to Justice, the High Priestess, and or the Queen of Swords, but literally just talks about a cut. Scissors, cords being cut, a change, 2 things being true, a crossroad, seeing through the veil of the world. When you can see through the veil of the world, you definitely have reached an upper level. But the number 21 for divine feminine coming out with the world card, some of you may be online searching for something and find it. You may have a few choices that you need to sit and deliberate on. Okay, discernment next to the 2 of Swords. We have a celebration of some sort and or a connection to telepathy. This totals 9 cups. And then we have the Hermit. So if I were thinking 3 cups and the Hermit represents isolation, an individual, a journey. The 3 cups would represent, in this reading, some sort of communication or a calling that comes from within. That's where the discernment comes from. That's where the High Priestess whispers to. If this is about a union of some sort, this is kind of like those 2 choices of the 2 things being true. That's weird. Where there's this outward extroverted thing, and then there's this inside more focused, more subtle thing. That's crazy. Or the balance that's required in having fun and partying and doing what we want to do, or some self-time within doing some other shit that may have more of a direction into your purpose or what you're supposed to be doing. And I knew this was coming up. Let me see here. Ooh, the thing that's keeping us apart. some plan in his head, her head. I got the two soulmates here, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, and this Capricorn is coming in between them. I don't know why. It talks about discipline if we ain't supposed to be right now, and or the things that bind us, that keep us apart or keep us where we at or something like that. That's something. Intuition. We got spirit again. So these messages coming from your intuition, a message about an ending, a message about someone not feeling alive or like living. That's something. If you communicate with a person that has that sort of issue, that's kind of like hard to deal with. Crossing over, that could have happened. An unexpected loss that's now like a guide or a soulmate. Could have been Aquarius. And there's some regrets. Oh, that sucks ass. All right. We have a contract and a reward. So some of you guys are going to get some communication about a physical, tangible thing that's going to make you happy. Back to that with that Sun card and that offer. Others of you, this awareness and this gift, these abilities that you're receiving is going to call for you to be uber grounded, right? There could have been some financial trouble or some feelings of being left out in the cold from a person that's going to come back in and communicate and maybe put a spark back into something that was once dead that may transform. Don't know. Okay. Now, with this Three of Cups and the Hermit card, it's connected to taking action and completing cycles. That's good. Because the Hermit do be sluggish and slow, and the Three of Cups is like more of a celebratory thing. The Hermit needs to make some adjustments and take more action. There's that. Okay. Because of some emotions, some subconscious situations, it even could be things that build up to this sort of behavior, or you've always been like this. That's crazy. There could have been some financial situations that have always appeared to be the same. It also talks about despair. And the Six of Swords is these people in a boat being guided to waters that aren't as troubled. And I think to do that, some people have to listen to a call. A thing that may have been troubling you for a large majority of your life could be coming to an end. Ooh, hoo, hoo. There's some sort of balance coming in and harmony. So it's like, that is true. Some financial thing, something that has to do with your domestic life could be changing. Okay. Others of you, this is a harmony between, like, I don't want to say two opposites, but there are some challenges and there's harmony coming in for some challenges. This may even be related to the zodiac signs and transits. I don't have to try to fit it into a situation. But judgment is back here. And using your discernment requires both logic and reason, as well as grace, love, and humility. So that's like that left brain, right brain thing. Okay, there needs to be balance between how we go about doing things, because one side of our brain wants to be free, fun, and creative. The other side is discipline, order, structure. So there's that. I don't know, I'm just being super nosy. This chaotic energy, frustration, rage, being overly entitled. I ain't gonna do my Queen of Wands like that, but there's a transformation in her behavior, so she could create havoc or harmony. Okay? She's also very fertile, so anything she touches grows. I like that too. And there are people, things, attractions in the environment that may help boost whatever it is she's trying to manifest, because this is the Queen of solar plexus, right? I can attract to whatever it is that I want. I can have whatever it is that I want. And then, of course you can. You juggling. Okay, there could be others. Yep, 5 of Wands, the Chariot. She has the capacity to direct her will, honey. Look, here's my clarity. Yes, that is fact. Is that bad? That's good, ain't it? That's some of you guys. Your supreme power is going to be able to direct your energy properly. And that's why this thing is coming in. So it's just focus on integrity, honesty, all that other stuff. Do that because you may be a conscious person that needs that. And or why not? Because if life is about to be good to you, or the universe, God, Metatron, Nipsey, whoever, about to be good to you, pay it forward. You got the 9 of Pentacles, and then we have the 7 of Swords and the Death card with the 5 of Wands. So this mysterious situation that could have caused some confusion and or deception that causes chaos within you or within a relationship, those things are changing, or there's a transformation of some sort in how somebody is perceiving that, how they taking it. And that's good, because they could see the error of their ways. Oh, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted a clarifier for the Ace of Pentacles. Communication, that's a will of some sort. Could be. It's a letter, a document, contract, a lease, a house, a happy ending, what you wanted. Here it is, a home, and some of you may have not, okay, had just that. A home being the relationship, a home on earth, not feeling it. It talks about generosity or receiving some sort of gift after a time of discomfort. It talks about generosity, philanthropist, okay, that could have been someone that may have received help themselves, and that's that pay it forward kind of thing. So for some of you, if and when you receive this lump sum, pay it forward. Your debt, okay? If you owe somebody something, pay that back, because you're gonna have, it's gonna clear your conscience and your debt. It's gonna clear some things that may need to be cleared energetically. So you'll have enough to do that. That's super dope. Let's see what else we got. That's Aquarian energy. Kind of like being defiant to authority figures. That could have caused some of us to make decisions the way we made them. But that may have cost you or could cost you. And I just appreciate that being pointed out, and or some additional guidance coming in to, if not only make you aware of that, kind of help you move and shake a little bit better in a practical manner, to have a peace of mind and some fucking tranquility to evolve spiritually, because that's necessary. So a lover from the past, I like that for some of y'all. Could be Virgo, could be a water sign or something. I don't know no Virgos, so that's on y'all. But that was very beautiful. Let me get y'all a crystal card, because it was just so cute and so beautiful for this discernment. I don't think I'm too curious about anything else. Okay. Alright, so Jade, good luck, abundance, and wisdom for some of you. Protection, trust, and intuition. Yeah, and I love that. I'm protecting you. Trust me and go with your gut. Fuck them. Shit. And that's that authority figure rebellion. You also have universal light, magic, and aura healing, as well as Tiger's Eye, which is connected to the solar plexus, and Archangel Michael, that talks about being courageous and optimism and power. So be brave, be powerful, laser focus, pursue your ambitions with confidence, strength, and power. Break through any blockages that stand in your way, because you are being protected by divine beings that will kick ass for you. And if you go with your gut, you're in alignment with the directions of Morpheus. So some extra cards. Autonomy, self-discipline, command. You got onyx, blue aragonite, compassion, communication, and empathy. Release, change, and transition. That was from the reading yesterday, but not that card. That was the message. You have sunstone. There could, again, this is like communicating with source or communicating with the sun. Like, communication and this sun card just won't leave each other alone. That is crazy. But confidence, freedom, and leadership, super dope. And the Queen of Wands, very confident. You need confidence to trust your intuition. Your intuition being strong is what makes you your original self, and or a kick-ass person in this dimension, and or the super galactic, amazing, you know, divine, what do y'all call them, golden people that you are. And you also have originality, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Virgo, Sagittarius, Jupiter, and you had the Virgo energy right here with discernment. So there is that. But yeah, that's not bad. I might do a pick a card with the 2 cups, 10 cups, and what else was it? I clarified the Ace of Pentacles and got the 10 of Cups. The 2 of Cups was in the environment. And let's see, I have to do one more. So if you guys, it's kind of like an extended for you. Now, you're welcome to get it personal. Go to PiscesTV.com or email me directly for specials. I'm trying to see for the 6 of Wands. We'll do 3 cards. For my next pick a card, I might do it right after this. I'll take a break. And then we're going to do a pick a card. That kept coming up, so I'm going to use it. Because this came out a few times, but I was like, what is it for? And we're going to find out in the pick a card. Or I'm just going to be nosy right now, but I'm going to tell you. Let me see. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. These will be our picker cards for the next reading. So you can go ahead and set your intentions. And that's what I got. I do hope that it helps.